Hello, this is Plum Silver, and here I'm going to show you the Grand Tableau for Canada. Now, the card that I picked to represent Canada is the tree. In the House of Tree, we've got the goal, the direction that where it wants to go. Well, not the direction, but how it wants to anchor itself in the House of Tree. So that's interesting to pay attention to in the houses. What cards do we have placed? Now, the tree card, which is Canada, is in the House of Bouquet, and the bouquet is just below it in Stork, which is a change, a birthing, or something is going to be like coming, being delivered, to a new position, a change, So that's the card, the stork, that is in the House of Birds. So there's a lot of communication, a lot of stressful chatting, rumors of where it's going in its direction. I'm going to point to some cards that are heavy because this is the direction of Canada that is going a little bit into a dark time. Look at that in the House of Cross. And here's Mark Carney. He's in his own house. And in the House of Lady, these are the characters playing, which is the house itself. This is the government. It's in the House of Lady. And that usually represents the... well, it's more feminine. The house is more feminine. It's just like, and having the house itself, that's the stability of the country. In the center rows are always saying paying attention, especially if it was in the middle, but it's right in the House of Lady, which is saying paying attention of what the lady, that party, which is more feminine, the liberal, they kind of play that role more than the conservative. And where's the lady? In the House of Mice. That's where it's breaking down, and it's got a heavy mountain on top of it. That heavy mountain, look at that. It's in the House of Bear. We have bears in mountain in the Rockies. The bears in the House of Fish. They're going to be really, really causing trouble and heavy burden. They're going to be the enemy. Bear is overwhelming, and on top of it, it's got the scythe and the snake. There's so much disappointment, and the scythe has the snake, and the snake has the scythe. Yeah, there's some cutting, okay? These two cards there are saying that the disappointment that the country wants to cut, it's breaking down. Well, at least the party is, okay? So there's going to be people who are going to be like cutting at it. It's like, it's going to be almost a battle, a war. In the center, the four cards, we're going to need to recognize this change because there's going to be such movement and so much change going on. People are going to be even probably wanting to move out from, I'm hearing people say, yeah, I'm moving out of east, I'm going to move west. And there's been already a lot of it. That's why this west card here, the bear and the bear with the mountain. And what do we have in the House of Mountain? We've got the cross. And then what do we have in the House of Cross? We've got the clouds. And what do we have in the House of Clouds? We've got the fish. And in the bears and the fish, you see, that whole story is kind of together. These cards are saying a lot just there. Their trouble is going to be caused by the West. We like it or not, this is what's happening. This is the direction of the house is being planted with an anchor, and there's going to be so much moving, people moving away. There's going to be, because here we got the ship, and in the House of Ship we got the people, and the people are in the House of Garden. This is the people. That's the card garden part. Usually you see the people. You can see they're walking between the trees, and they're basically already, there's going to be movement. They're going to be the ones who are going to be started like debating where they want to live. In the House of Tower, we've got the path. It's a split. Things are splitting. But there's one positive thing, because as much as all this looks very negative, where it's going, the direction, we're going to need to recognize that, there's something is dead. We got the coffin in the House of Coffin. This is like a dead situation. These four cards is going to be the rumors, and there's so much talk and stress. The kind of talk is going to be about anything that is legal, paper. We're going to need to inform ourselves more. People are going to want to take more contracts and shine light in the path here in the House of shine light, the sun. What's in the House of Sun? Shine light on documents, on like what is legal, and definitely having the woman in the House of Mice, and at the heart of all this, which is just the heart is there, we've got the mice. the breaking down of the liberal, the breaking down of the government that is now again in power. It's really at the matter of it. This is going to be the advice. It's going to have to start, it's going to have to go through this move here, and it's going to get quite dark, the trouble. The mountain here with the cross, and you see, they all relate to each other. You got the bear, and in the house of bear, you got the mountain. In the house of mountain, you got the cross, and then in the cross, you got the clouds, and then you got the fish, like right away. I know, I think I'm repeating myself here, but these are important aspect of this Grand Tableau, how cards link, and just like a story, you need to put these cards together. I'm just wanted to also telling you how much I think this Grand Tableau is really connected to the day. It was on Wednesday I laid out these cards. You're all more energized by what's happening, also because publicly, living in the country, you kind of know how people are feeling about it. And the gentleman being in his own house told me right away, oh my God, this Grand Tableau now is really well connected. It was well placed. You could feel it as you're laying out the cards. But for me, Grand Tableau always has done that. And so I wanted to just show you the link of that, these cards, that are how important they are. In the House of Whip, oh yeah, okay, in the House of Whip, we've got the Wise card. Well, I would say the lily is the harmony of the country. All the province together. Look, there's many lilies. You always when you have the lilies and older, like even the country being older, all the provinces, all the older contracts, older documents, right next to the lily, older documents. Should we start trusting them? We need to shed some light into it, Also, the election, a lot of people are talking about manipulation. It's kind of like a reflection similar to the American election, is because you see in the House of Fox, we've got the ballot, and then we got the fox here in the House of Book, and then it's in the clover here. So the 3 cards that are linked to each other. So there's a lot of talk about that too, But I think the heaviest burden, because overwhelming, having a bear and a mountain, all these heavy cards, and the breaking down right here. And it's going to be about the contracts of what the new direction that the country has to take. Just above it, you could see these heavy cards is the direction. Now, also, this card to me is the American, the stars. They're going to be recognizing this. But my gut feeling when I'm looking at this is just more like Canada in its own direction. Just as much as I was thinking of, okay, I'm going to make the American card, the star. I don't see it, but I don't see it being like the big player in here. I think it's Alberta, the separation, the rumors, the contracts that it wants to have with the house here. You see this House of Ring, you got the news, the information, the delivery of like, they're going to basically trying to create a situation where they're going to end up wanting people to be more informed about our contracts, our new contracts, or how are we going to recreate commitment with the country. That's the direction. The advice is at the heart of it, let it break down, and be ready that things are going to flow. And the bear here, it looks very much like, the bear that would be living out west. So be wary about them, because in between that's just going to get darker. And here also the card of the Tower, which is splitting here, is in the House of Letters. So really it's going to be about looking at the new contracts or whatever, that we've created as legal paper over time, And then it's going to be, you see the snake is cutting the direction. You see in the House of Snake, and the snake is in the House of Scythe. Yeah, it's about cutting things that are been flowing that are confusing. Like also fish is finance. It's about money, but it's also consciousness. It's also a group of people that kind of flow all together. Well, they're not going to flow together right now, because the Alberta is in there, like, and it wants to know about its finance. Okay, so 4 cards in the middle, Moon is recognizing this. We're going to have to recognize this new, battle that we're in now and there's going to be a lot of we're going to need to recognize the trouble that the house of the lady, which is the liberal, and how we're going to end up having to change this. It's got many months. There's a lot of time because you see Canada card here, but that's a gift. This change is going to give because it's in the House of Bouquet, so that's an opportunity. This is like sort of a rebirthing itself. It's actually going to make it stronger because Canada being in the House of Bouquet gives me that feeling of positiveness. But look at the cards it has to go through, and that's going to be a great opportunity to recreate itself and to be more informed about our country, maybe older, the history of Canada, and then Alberta is definitely some form of not an enemy, because, you could use the mountain as an enemy, is a troublemaker. They're going to be causing trouble. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so there you go. In the House of Cross, we got the clouds, so it's going to get darker before anything. So we're not going in an easy time for quite a few months, because there's that many, you can represent this monthly, but it's happening this year. And there you go. Hopefully you like this. Thank you.